Coca-Cola's new holiday AI ads, and the rise of predictive markets. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by Surfshark. Visit surfshark.com/MacVoices or use code MacVoices at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN.
We're stepping away from the Apple world a little bit. Coca-Cola is again trying another AI holiday ad. Executives say it's different this time. If you remember last year, Coke drew a lot of fire for their AI ad. And even though there was a bit of outrage from certain factions, it seemed like most of the world didn't really care. So, Norbert, you've been very quiet, as Jeff said in our private chat, passing judgment on us all. Are you offended by Coke using AI to make ads?
Not really. I don't think that the AI is going to either make me want to buy a Coke or not buy a Coke. All I want is the good feelings of the Coca-Cola holiday commercials. Okay, Webb's a Pepsi guy, so we have a Coke-Pepsi debate going on here. But just the feeling of the season, you know, Apple does pretty good. Going back to Apple a little bit, they have really good holiday ads. Coca-Cola usually has a pretty good holiday ad, so it's more about the feeling than the actual tools that they're using, for me, at least.
Okay, good. Is anybody here offended by the fact that Coke would make this decision?
Nah, not me.
I mean, offended. No.
Offended. Okay.
I mean, offended is a strong word, but like Coke is where we got Santa. Like, let's go back in history for a minute. You know, the dude in the beard and the suit with the fur and the boots and the hat and the whole, like, that's a Coca-Cola image that was given to us by Coca-Cola. I feel like it's cheap and lazy to AI it, because what is it that we just talked about with holiday ads? Heartfelt feelings. The whole point. Sainsbury's ads, you know, from the UK. There's another one from the UK that comes out every year that I can't think of, that is a real sappy one every year, and I love them, and they're so great. And there's like loads of them, and you know, and people like try really hard to make sure that they're making that holiday ad that hits all the right notes. And I don't feel like that's something that you can just ask an assistant to go and build for you. And I don't care how much you tune it, it's still not a person. Like, you know, I keep coming back to the AI that somebody asked, you know, how do you keep the cheese from sliding off a pizza? And they offered a recipe that included super glue. So I keep coming back to that, you know, like technically correct, but not useful. And I know ads aren't necessarily useful, but like, it's not going to serve the purpose, especially if you look at it, you're like, this is AI. And however you feel about AI, whether it's I'm a huge fan and now I have to go buy nothing but Coke from now on, or you're like, you know, this, like, I just feel like this is the wrong avenue for this. Like, use AI for your Super Bowl ad and then we can have a conversation. Okay.
I want to hear from the Pepsi guy. Webb, does this make you want to stay Pepsi? Does it make you want to switch to Coke, or does it not make any difference to you?
It makes makes no difference whatsoever. You know, I was reading this article, and there was a line that being the whole cold, mean business guy that I am. Hold on a second. Where is it? It's in one of the second, third paragraph. Coca-Cola is red because it made from the blood out of work artists.
Oh gosh.
Seriously?
Look, artists are dramatic.
I mean. There's. Have a nice evening.
Can I build on that, Webb?
Please.
I really want to know how you're going to
Alright.
build on a couple of enthusiastic hand
Okay.
gestures. By
Before
all
you-
means, Jeff.
Jeff, before
How
you
was
do
that?
though, Joe,
Uh-huh.
we completely blew the idea of keeping blood pressures down. I'm sorry, Webb. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm medicated. It's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Sadly, I am not. I should have gotten some podcasting juice before we started. Anyhow, there's a lot we don't know about this. And so we're all having emotional reactions, regardless of anything else that goes along with all of that. Coca-Cola has been incredibly successful because people are talking about this ad. We're on a technology podcast talking about a sugar water ad. That is a success by any measure. What I'm interested in before I let my blood pressure go up and start wailing and gnashing my teeth, I want to know the behind the scenes stuff. Is this something where they're using the marketing company that they have hired to do some experimental stuff and they're seeing what works? Did people get fired so that this ad could get made? I'm likely not. I want to know what happened behind the scenes. And for right now, my take on the ad is, meh, I don't like watching commercials. I don't care what your commercial's for. I don't want to see it. I'm a bad consumer. I accept that. But it's about the behind the scenes thing. That's what really matters. So until then, it's just like, okay, there's another little ad, and does it have the same emotional value as one that was created completely by humans? Okay, that's another discussion right there.
Jeff, would you like a theory from my house?
I am here for your theories, Kelly. I've got my, I was going to say I have my crackpot pants on, but I've got my crackpot shirt on.
Show me.
Oh, it's on now.
Oh, how I've missed MacVoices After
Yes.
Dark.
Keep it concise,
so-
Kelly.
No, it's unbelievably concise. The theory from my house is that the marketing company told them it didn't matter what ad you make, just use AI to do it, and everyone will talk about that instead.
See, that's totally plausible. I mean, absolutely.
So I will add one thing that I don't have a link for. I'll try to get it and have it in the show notes. But on the Tech Brew Ride Home podcast today, I heard them talking about this, and allegedly they spoke. I'm sorry, the comments here were bringing it back to me, so I can't tell you exactly who. They were talking to somebody from Coke, and Coke said basically that A, they didn't get much pushback, other than certain communities, and B, in the past, they've had to start a year ahead of time to make some of those past ads. This time they did it in just over a month.
Okay, that's significant.
That is very significant from every standpoint, because that means not only are you saving a lot of money, you can be a lot more flexible with any trends or developments that have happened and still, be agile.
So does that mean that Santa on the Coca-Cola commercial this year is going to say 6-7 to get in the tune with all the kids going these days?
Absolutely.
Hey, whatever sells the sugar water.
Norbert, this is why I love you.
Yes. Yes. The fact that Norbert even knows what that means is impressive.
Wait, Chuck, you know too?
I know about it. Yes.
I was afraid you were mid, but no.
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 No, I'm not dead
Today
yet.
I
Jeff.
learned
Come
learned
on.
it
Joyner watches South Park.
He's not.
Yeah, I
skibbity at
learned it
all.
on South Park. I was
He's
going
no
to say.
skibbity. Chuck's alpha. Wow.
Brian.
Got all that Riz, Jeff.
Brian, I love you. You have a completely different perspective on this.
Yeah, I was just more upset, not about the AI aspects, but it seems like every year, just those Christmas commercials and advertising come out earlier and earlier every year. So that's where I was at. Like, no Thanksgiving commercials? No? Okay.
Don't get me started on pumpkin spice season.
No, way too early. In Arizona, when it's over still 100 degrees and pumpkin
Yeah,
spices are coming out.
August. No.
Yeah, no.
I was in a home improvement store, Home Depot or one of those, and I right next to all the pumpkin Halloween stuff, the Christmas trees are out. I mean, just yeah. Now, when I was young, that would never have happened. Now get off my lawn.
When Webb is king of the world, it's all going to be right again.
And coconut's going away too, by the way. I just want to throw that out. Sorry.
Beamer.
Sorry.
Well, now you're getting overthrown.
Almond Joy, forget it. It's out of here.
No, you got it. Mounds can go, but let me have Almond Joy.
Well, to be fair, Kelly, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Sorry, Chuck.
No, that's not true. You've met me.
Wow.
That's
no
true.
don't.
Chuck,
No.
you better throw out the After Dark disclaimer right now because it's about to happen.
The way it's going. I heard a lady on one of the news programs the other day say very, very, like in a very teacher-like voice that November is not Christmas, it's fall. As if daring anybody to put up a Christmas decoration in her neighborhood before December.
Oh, she'd be mad at me.
This edition of MacVoices is supported by Surfshark VPN. Just when you thought it was safe to go back on the internet, it turns out the online sharks are still out there. Hackers, trackers, data brokers, and they don't care whether you're in the privacy of your home or halfway around the world. That's why you need to rely on Surfshark VPN to keep your online life locked down wherever you go. Surfshark encrypts everything you do online and hides your real location. So what you browse, what you buy, and what you stream stays yours, not your ISPs, not advertisers, and definitely not the bad guys. And it's not just for your Mac or your laptop. One Surfshark account covers every device you own: iPhone, iPad, smart TVs, even your router if you want full house protection. But Surfshark goes further. Their Queen Web feature blocks ads, malware, and trackers before they even load, which makes pages faster and your browsing safer. Whether you're traveling or just relaxing at home, Surfshark protects you from the digital predators that never take vacation. So before you dive back into those choppy online waters, give yourself some real peace of mind. Go to surfshark.com/MacVoices or use the code MacVoices at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. That's surfshark.com/MacVoices or use the code MacVoices for 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN, because your privacy should follow you everywhere. Thanks to Surfshark for supporting MacVoices.
I really wanted to get some thoughts on this one, because this has very, very little to do. In fact, it has nothing to do with Apple. I've been noticing more and more on sports programs and other places, and especially in the political world, that we're seeing these odds pop up of, certain things happening. And clearly somebody is betting on them or could bet on them. And Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong took those, they're calling them now prediction markets. And they were apparently, the prediction markets in a call that he was doing were making comments about, would he say certain words? Would he say this? Would he say that? Well, he just basically said, to screw up the prediction markets, I'm going to say Ethereum and this one and that one and the other one. And everybody went nuts because at least in theory, he could have been manipulating the markets. And so has the gambling thing, and this has nothing to do with the moral aspects of gambling, so please, no emails on that. But the prediction thing has just gotten, I think, out of control on some of this. Am I the only one that's seen this? Because this article really caught my attention that, somebody could manipulate that particular market that easily.
I just started to think what they're doing with their predictions about what I say.
Yeah, that's.
But Chuck, this is also proof we're living in the worst timeline, because this is exactly the kind of thing that happens in the worst timeline, where like a betting market can be swayed simply by someone like this rattling off a string of words that people were betting on.
I disagree, Jeff. I don't think this is the worst. I think it's the dumbest.
Okay, that's fair. I stand corrected.
We're in the stupidest timeline.
Okay.
That I can get behind. Yeah.
I will accept
Remember,
that.
I mean, here's the thing is that Jeff and I know Chuck and I at certain points used to do this with Apple earnings calls. Oh, here comes, and he's going to ask about the Apple TV. Here comes, he's going to ask about the car. And
we had our bingo cards.
But we never put any money on it. This was just a thing that we used to do, but we were never betting on it. And I just, so like when I was reading that, it just reminded me of, things like that, or the time that Jeff and I conspired to write an entire article and jam as many Big Lebowski references into it about how AT&T decided this aggression would not stand, and stuff like that. We used to do stuff like this because it was entertaining, but it was never because we were making money on it. And I just think the money part of it is the part that's weird. And, like the whole prediction market thing makes no sense to me anyway. And maybe that's part of why I find it easy to dismiss, because I just don't care. I've been a person who's placed bets on different things occasionally, but never like, oh, Jeff's gonna say underpants on MacVoices on Tuesday, I better put a tenner on that. Like, no, that's not a thing. So, like that part I don't get, but yeah, stupidest timeline for real.
Brian?
Yeah, I was just saying that when I was looking at that story, it reminded me of a Super Bowl story of some of the prop bets, the goofy, crazy prop bets that you can do.
Yeah.
And there's a prop bet, that says, is yes or no, is there going to be a streaker at the Super Bowl? The guy put down a lot of money, bought his ticket, and streaked himself.
Oh. and that's it. That's exactly it now. Maybe I have a different perspective on this because, and I'll speak for Webb and I'll speak for Dave too. We work in industries that do a certain amount of prediction, that things are based on actuarial research. Sometimes I think it's a little bit out there in left field, but that's okay. It's based on something. But this just feels like it's shooting from the hip in the worst possible way. And then you turn to the stock market and insider trading. You turn to sports and some of the allegations that have been made recently against some people for, disclosing information or engaging in things that affected the outcome of the sport. It's like, how is this a good idea in any way, shape, or form? And why would I ever put any money down on it?
Chuck, did you see the part in this where he didn't know what was going on with the predictions betting? And it was at the end of the call, one of his people handed him a note about what everyone was noting that he hadn't said yet. So he's just like, okay. And he read off the list of words. So it sounds like from Lex Luthor's part, this, whatever his name is, that this is an off the cuff thing, and he thought it was funny. So, it's, to me, this feels more like another F around and find out moment for people that bet on stupid things.
Webb's doing hand gestures again.
Yeah. Not jazz hands.
Yeah.
Not this week. So, but Norbert, you and I are also in kind of an adjacent. Could you imagine sitting in on that earnings call, then have this thing go on at the end? I just couldn't. I couldn't believe it.
A part of me is amazed and kind of like, yeah, good for him. Throwing the betting market into a frenzy. by screwing up a bunch of people's bets. And secondly, I say to myself, how professional is this that he's thinking about screwing up a bunch of people's bets during an earnings call? So a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So it's like, wow.
It stunned me. So,
but it was he is the Coinbase CEO. And so he lives in a completely different financial world than the rest of us, with the way that some of the cryptocurrency has been created, died, come back to life, died again, risen again. It's, I don't know.
That said, then maybe this means the way he acted, as unprofessional as Norbert Webb pointed out is appropriate for him in this situation.
For an earnings call. For what he was there to do.
An earnings call for a company that is in a pretend space with pretend money that ultimately becomes real money, but it's all a make-believe market anyhow. But yeah, I get your point. If you did this, Webb, on an earnings call, I would imagine that there would be people that would have your head on a pike.
I wouldn't have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, and we just announced our earnings too. So
nothing wrong with it. It just didn't hit my ring my chimes.
And I'm in a blackout period too, so I can't do anything like that. Can't buy any stock. Can't do any of that. So,
Jeff, you make a really interesting point. And Webb and Norbert did too. That what is the norm? Is there a norm anymore? Yeah, I know. Webb,
and to this world.
Yeah. That's just it. It feels like everything.
I'm watching election results from New York City right now. We're trying to figure out what the norm is. Sorry.
Do you want to share that with us as to what it is?
No. It's just interesting to watch.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it may change. Oh, guys, this has been fun. I don't want to run us too far over because I've been sitting here with my fingers crossed the whole time. They're getting cramped, hoping my internet connection held out. So it has. So let's go around the room, let folks find out where they can find you, and then we'll go to After Dark as long as the connection holds up. Dave Ginsburg, thank you so much for being here. Where can folks find you?
Thanks for having me. You can find me at In Touch with iOS, intouchwithios.com, YouTube channels, youtube.com/In Touch with iOS. I'm on the Vision Profiles podcast with Marty and Eric. Have a blast talking about Vision Pro here on Tuesdays on MacVoices Live. And Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, we record In Touch with iOS. And then most Fridays, I'm on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network. And you can find me on Blue Sky and Mastodon at Dave G65. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Dave. Marty Jencius, thank you for being here as well. Where can folks find you?
All the same places that Dave just said, but you can contact me directly, Jencius, Jencius, at Blue Sky, also on Threads, and also on a lot of places. Just look for Jencius. You'll find me there. Website is thepodtalk.net, and that has connections to all the projects I do and the places I'm on.
Great. Thank you, Marty. Appreciate it. Brian Flanigan-Arthurs, thank you so much for being here. We hope your Christmas is merry and bright. Where can folks find you?
Yes, as soon as it's December 1st. Thank you. Where you can find me, best place to reach out to me is on my website, brian8944.com. And you can find me here most Tuesday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Bolden, I know you didn't have a lot to say tonight. You were too busy recovering from the comments of the other panelists. But where can folks find you once you've recovered?
Oh, when I'm not dodging vultures, I can be found on Mastodon at, thanks. Put a meal out right there. I'm going to have to duck.
That doesn't look
Thanks,
like
Marty.
a duck. That does not look like a duck, Eric. No.
I can be found on Mastodon at EA, Bolden at mas.to, and Monday nights on Vision Profiles, covering all our Vision OS stuff, and Tuesdays, of course, here on Mac Voices. On Thursdays on In Touch with iOS, so covering all of the OS bases throughout the week.
Great. Thanks so much, Eric. Jeff Gamet, I'm looking forward to our 5-hour show on graphics. But in the meantime, where can folks find you?
Well, when I'm not preparing my notes for the 5-hour long show, Chuck and I are going to be recording in a few minutes. On social media, I'm Jay Gamet, pretty much everywhere. Most active right now on Mastodon, Blue Sky, and PixelFed. Then for shows, here with you, Chuck, on MacVoices Live on Tuesdays, with Dave on his In Touch with iOS on Thursdays. Big Show and Mac Show on the British Tech Network. Brent Chaffin and I do The Context Machine, and Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro Rewatch.
Thank you, Jeff. Web Bixby. I'm imitating Web Bixby. Web, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Where can folks find you?
I was a little animated tonight, so I just couldn't find the words. Anyway, all the socials, I pretty much have the same handle everywhere. WebBixby, WEBBIXBY, and I still stick with Blue Sky because I like the name.
Excellent. Thanks so
much.
much.
I got a whole list of them right here. So, look at that.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah.
Thank you, Webb. Good to have you.
Let's see if this works. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Magic.
That's not working.
It didn't work.
No.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Got to get closer to it. Yeah.
Good.
Huh.
Norbert Frassa, thank you for being here as always. It's always fun to see you log in because we never know when you're coming. But until the next time, where can folks find you?
Well, when the planets and the stars align, you'll find me here on this fine program. Otherwise, Norbert Frassa on all the socials and via email at norbert@macvoices.com.
Great. Thanks, Norbert. Kelly Guimont, it's great to have you back. That was also another nice surprise to see you pop down into the corner of my screen. Where can folks find you?
Generally behind a microphone, just not usually here with you all anymore, unfortunately. Generally, you can find me over on Mastodon, where I'm verso@mastodon.social. I am occasionally on Instagram. You can find my band over there, Precious.Machinery. And you can also sometimes find me playing Pokemon Go or popping up on podcasts over on the Incomparable Network. And sometimes I record a show with Mike Rose when our schedules align, called The After Show at aftershowpodcast.com. Brought to you by Weather Alibi.
Great, Kelly. Thank you so much for being here. Good luck with your singing career. And again, stick around, sign out autographs after the show. Folks, this is Mac Voices Live. We do this every Tuesday night. I'm usually at home in my studio and not on the road, so things are a little bit more under control, but I'm glad we got to do this tonight, and I'm glad you were here. Thanks especially to the chat room for sticking with us. As always, we will see you next Tuesday. As always, thanks for watching.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.